And welcome to, this is usually when we would say welcome to Trip to the Mound. Today we're going to say welcome to Chin Music. Again, this is a new segment that we're doing here at the iBaseballChannel. Just as it sounds, it's devoted strictly to music because we are in fact music lovers here, in addition to baseball knowledge extraordinaire wizards.
Exactly. It's that match of the baseball music thing, Roy, that we've secretly developed over the years.
Yes,
and now being able to share a little bit more because, we are coming, things are narrowing down. We have less and less to talk about. Pretty soon it's going to be the playoffs and the world down to 2 teams, World Series.
Yeah, not to get too deep into it, but again, since I've been working out here, one of the things that we've shared from the get-go has been this love of music, going into the room where the CDs were stacked in the old office in there and your collection of music DVDs. I was like, this is somebody that thinks like I do. And then, of course, historically, one of the first trips that we made behind the camera was to the event that we're going to be discussing today, and that's the Cohn Fall Music Festival.
I think it would be important now to get the whole history of moi, iBaseballChannel, and me, the former San Francisco Giants pitcher, and the B.R. Cohn and Bruce Cohn and Marty Cohn, for that matter, in the beginning. I'm going to tell a little bit of that story right now.
Yeah, take us to the first festival that you went to.
All right, so here we go. So back in the late 80s, in my stint with the San Francisco Giants, Dave Craig, who was our director of community relations with the Giants, it's the last day or two of the year. It's I'm not sure if it's 86, 88 in there, but we were not in the playoffs. And he came into the clubhouse one day, and I used to do Dave quite a bit of favors. I'd go up in the box, and have some shrimp cocktail and stuff like that with some of the sponsors and whatnot, and do with the kids and everything. Anyway, so he came down and had a couple of these tickets to the B.R. Cohn, Music Fest, and he goes, "Here, you and Teresa like to go over and check this out when season's over." And I go, "Absolutely." And I took them, and off we went to Glen Ellen for our first visit to the this music fest. And I was like, and even then, it was a wooden stage, roughly 35 feet long, and only about a couple sheets of plywood, wide.
Yeah,
a little railing on it, some stairs going off one side, some stairs going off the other side. Not nearly what you're seeing now as far as concessions and all the different vendors and all that stuff. Just completely smaller. Although the crowds were the same size.
Wow.
Yes, they were big.
That was going to be my next
because
question.
The big performers they were still, because Bruce and Marty were the managers of the Doobie Brothers. They were very well connected in the music business. So you went there and you saw the Doobie Brothers, you saw Little Feat, Greg Allman.
Wow.
Oh yeah, all
very cool.
Of course, recently now because working. You and I, we've run into Kenny Loggins, and we've seen Hart last year, and the list goes on and on. And so over the years, it's been something that we kind of look forward to, and then of course now you've seen that this venue has grown in not just the size of the crowd, but I mean this production.
Well, I think that this event also, in the short time that I've been there with you, speaks volumes about his commitment to, again, this is a charity music festival, and you see the spirit that he sets the tone for, and I mean he, but Bruce and the people at the winery, the spirit that the tone that they set is then translated in the people that give of their time. You've got Lagunitas who's donating their beer to the event. I mean, there's a lot of very nice gestures that happen, and moreover, this is an event that gives back to the community at large.
It's just a first-class operation. They usually have a number of charities that they contribute to. Veterans. Yeah.
Being a big part of it, absolutely.
Exactly. And so it's been a real kicker. Of course, this year, Roy, we had something really special happen to us, right?
Yes, yeah. We met up, again, within this, we've encountered some interesting parts of musical history, and I mean this with all the respect in the world, but we were fortunate enough over the weekend to meet a big part of musical history, and that was meeting Walter Herbie Herbert.
And I was unaware of the magnitude of this. Of course, Roy's on top of this stuff, and my buddy Randy Talalian was all over it when I posed a little quiz out there yesterday. So, yeah, but of course, once I found out about Herbie, we had some very cool, very interesting, and a number of not just shake your hand, hi, how you doing. We we spent some really special time with this guy.
Oh yeah,
and some terrific stories are going to come out of this.
Yeah, and again, I mean, for those who don't know of Herbie Herbert's contribution to musical history, he's the guy that helped he founded Journey along with Neil Schon and Greg Raleigh, who were members of Santana before that. So
exactly. So all of you Giants fans, if you haven't heard, I'm sure you've heard his song many times.
Don't Stop Believin'.
And the Lights.
Because Don't Stop Believin' is the single most downloaded song on iTunes history. You know,
City Lights. Right?
Yeah, when the lights go down in the city. Yep, exactly. Absolutely. Yeah.
You bet. So, gosh, we had some great talks with Herbie, and he told us some great stories about his journey through music and whatnot. But come to find out, Mr. Herbert is a big Giants fan, and he knows a lot about baseball. And we're gonna here in the very near future, we're gonna get let him bestow some of his baseball wisdom upon us.
I'm one of those people that, like you said, I eat up music history. I'm not a musician, but I'm such a fan of what happens through the years, and to have some of those moments where these stories were imparted on me, I felt like there was a spotlight coming from the heavens on me, because I was just that lucky to hear these things, and it was fantastic. It's so nice when somebody from that era also gives their time and is willing to share that information.
We sat around a couple of times there's a VIP area, kind of a food and a kind of a setting area, just down from the actual live stage itself. And, we sat around and had a lot of talks with him. And
well, let me ask you this. What were some of your more memorable performances from this past weekend? What did you really enjoy seeing?
Well, I liked Los Lonely Boys. Those guys were really good.
Yes.
They were good.
They evoked those memories of like Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble, just that good, smooth blues. Like I love the way, and of course they got the percussionist that now fills in with them, so they're beyond a trio, but at that, it's a cool feel to it. Yeah, I thought those guys, I agree, they were a fantastic show.
Yep, and then my old San Francisco Giants buddy, old Huey Lewis, that I met years ago, way back in the 80s at the golf course out there, his performance, Roy, as you saw, was
stellar.
Top notch.
Yes, it was.
The crowd was a 4,000 at least packed house there in the amphitheater behind the winery, and the whole crowd was on their feet almost the entire time. He was all over that stage. The a cappella thing that they pulled off with the horns, that was top notch. But I got to tell you, there was they have a second venue there, as you know.
Yeah, the side stage.
That's right, up in the old olive orchard. These folks right here, Roy. Frobeck. I got to tell you, they're one of the best bands I've ever seen there in the years. And I told those guys about that. They were terrific on the small stage. They just packed the whole. It occurs in the olive orchard where the dinner happens. The big auction dinner on Friday night. That's cleared out. The vendors come in, so there's this nice little kind of a spot up there on the top of the hill, packed, and you'll see some of the photos and video from these fellows performing, and the people rocking out to these guys. These guys were really good. So
they packed a lot. They packed a lot on that little stage. You had 3 horn players. You had him with the keyboards up in the front, guitarist. You had backup singer. You had drummer. You had bass player in the back next to him, and those guys were fantastic. To me, I was standing there and evoked memories of like the Funky Meters or Tower of Power or bands like that with that great all-encompassing wall of sound type stuff.
Want to thank the guys from Frobeck for talking with us and all the other.
Well, and of course, you can see my shirt that I've got on. This was evident of my favorite. Again, if I had to choose one over the weekend that I enjoyed more than the others, and it was the guys that we got a chance to talk to a little bit, and those were the guys in the Curly Wolf. They were, again, the opening performers of the day. I remember that on Saturday we were there waiting. We were getting our credentials and getting everything taken care of, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of my ear, I hear them doing a cover of one of my favorite punk bands, Rancid, the song "If I Fall Back Down," and it's a great tune, and they worked it into their little kind of cowpunk, rockabilly, cool country thing that they have going that's really, it's a little aggressive, but it's got the slide guitar and the stand-up bass and acoustic guitars, just fantastic, and a great group of guys. I mean, they were very, very nice guys. Grant, the lead singer, was out and about quite a bit. We saw him signing autographs. They were taking a lot of pictures with people, and that's the thing you like to see of a band that's that's on the open. They're guys that work their way onto the main stage. I guess they were there before on the side stage, got
Exactly.
moved up, and you look at a band like Frobeck, and they could be one of the next guys to make that jump at some point.
It could be. They're local from Sebastopol.
Yeah.
Nice guys, terrific musicians, and I think you're going to like them.
John Waite was another guy that came out there and performed. You had
Melissa Etheridge kind of packed the house there.
Yes.
We had Peter Frampton was back on stage after he blew by Visalia in the Oval. He just kept right on going, headed up to the B.R. Cohn Winery and set up shop, and pretty good performance from him. He was very well received.
I loved the Soundgarden cover. He did a cover of Black Hole Sun with just an instrumental on the guitar. It was fantastic.
Well, I've really never had you just don't have a bad concert up there. It's just not going to happen. I mean, Bruce and them are, they're very well entrenched in the music business, and they've raised millions of dollars, believe me. And so it's been a wonderful event.
Yeah, and it's been a fantastic thing to, like you said, to pull aside guys like Kenny Loggins. We talked to Jesse Valenzuela, the Gin Blossoms, last year, and to get these guys not only talking a little bit about their musical experience, but how the game of baseball ties into it as well. It's a very cool thing to see, to be a part of. And then, like, again, when you mentioned meeting our new friend Herbie Herbert this past weekend, you get to hear these moments of musical history that are so unique. And again, it's why the songs that we love stick with us, and it's why we become passionate music fans, is because that little tune takes a whole nother level of meaning. And it's why we develop Chin Music, is because we're going to have people in this room that are sharing their songs, much like Dave Laswell and the Rounders had. But again, it's this opportunity for us to sit here and to talk music, because I think that's on the side of it. Anybody that loves it also loves to talk about it, because it's a personal thing, but it's yet something that we all share. So yeah, very good stuff.
We've worked hard to get to where we are, but we hope that we provide special content for our viewers as well, and I hope it should be enjoyed, and I'm sure it will be.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, this is our first episode of Chin Music from here on the couch. And is there any little slogan that you can think of as we're bringing this to a close? Anything that that would kind of sum up the Chin Music? I don't know.
Sum up Chin Music?
Yeah, we got to.
When in doubt, come up and in.
There it is.
If you want to win.
When in doubt, come up and in if you want to win. I love it. That's fantastic. So again,
that's it, folks.
So we are Chin Music. I'm Roy Giovanotti, joined as always by Mike Lacoste. And of course, we are the iBaseball Channel. You can check out the wealth of our material at www.iBaseballChannel.com. And of course, before we go, we always have to remind you,
if you want to win, come up and in. Because iBaseball, do you?
Absolutely.